Last night I watched the final part of the autofocus test series by Philip Bloom. I've been following Philip for years and I've learned a ton from him. That video was not an exception. He tested out several cameras for their autofocus capability. While most professionals shoot in manual mode, we, amateurs and hobbyists, still rely on autofocus most of the time, especially when shooting ourselves. After 43 minutes of pure entertainment, my conclusion, and I guess others as well, is that Sony cameras, especially the A6500 and the A7Rii Mark II, will sell like hotcakes after this video. The two cameras performed exceptionally in these tests. Philip went on and did a complete talking head test, which was terribly missed in the industry. In all those tests, the two cameras stood out for their autofocus. I myself was already sold on the A7Rii Mark II for months now. I was a bit skeptical whether the A7S Mark II would be a better choice, but Philip's video has been a revelation, for that matter. Also, it further confirmed that the silent Batis 25 lens should be my first lens for that camera if I want to record video with no lens noise. More on that later. I've been watching lots of videos on YouTube, and still am, before I make the decision to fork out $4,000 for a new camera setup. I'm in the market for a full-frame camera which will be coupled with only prime lenses at this point. I've been eyeing on the Grandmaster lenses lately, specifically the 85, the Batis 85, the 35 1.4 lens made by Sony, and the 90 macro lens also made by Sony. I also had a look on Leicas and some other high-end cameras since my budget is pretty flexible, but the Sonys seem the most rational option for an enthusiast such as me, who hasn't got hold of a full-frame camera ever in his life. But then, when I was pretty sure I would end up placing an order by the time the video ended, something out of the blue happened on Philip's video that questioned my decision.
And this is the Canon 70D. I didn't include it in my test because it needed to be a 4K test. All these cameras I've used can shoot 4K, and this one cannot only shoot HD, and it has been replaced by the HD anyway. But this is an older camera, it's been out for ages, and the autofocus is terrific.
And that was a short test he did with a Canon 70D, a 4-year-old crop sensor high-definition camera. The actual camera I'm filming this on. The camera performed similarly to the Sony cameras, from what I can tell. So that got me thinking, why upgrade in the first place? Right now, I'm filming this with one of the top-of-the-line lenses for this setup, the Sigma 18-35 1.8 art lens. People swear on this lens and many even use it on modern 4K cameras such as the Sony 6500 with adapters. According to reviews and reports, the lens continued to perform superbly. So, another option for me would be to get a brand new A6500 and keeping this lens on it. However, I'm not looking to buy another crop sensor camera. I want to jump onto the full-frame train. Toot-toot! So what I will be getting if I move from the Canon 70D to the Sony A7Rii Mark II. First and foremost, 4K recording. Why? Well, let me ask you, when was it the last time you watched a standard definition video or even in 720p quality? Exactly. That's what will happen with 1080p videos eventually. And since I'm using these cameras to film my family, I want the videos to be watchable for years to come. Stabilization. This Sigma lens is not stabilized. I envy the smooth look of stabilized footage. That's why I got a gimbal for my GoPro 5. I will be able to shoot better handheld with a new setup. Better low light performance. That is due to both the full-frame sensor and faster lenses. This lens may be advertised as having an aperture of 1.8, but it's a lens for a crop sensor camera. The Batis 2.0 lens for full-frame cameras will be one stop faster despite the slightly larger f-number. Smaller size and less weight. The A7Rii camera is 2 cm shorter and thinner than this camera. Also, the Batis lens is 5 cm shorter than this Sigma lens, but most importantly, is half a kilo lighter. the length and the weight of the whole setup will be almost halved, while getting a much better image both for videos and photos. Silent focus. You hear that? That's Sigma's focusing mechanism, but this should be totally silent, much like the STM lenses by Canon. Yet there are some things that I'll miss moving from the Canon to Sony. The fully articulated flip-out screen of Canon. But since the bâtisse is wider than this lens, I don't expect to struggle framing myself correctly. Yet I still believe I'll miss the screen, which is also a touchscreen. Autofocus may be excellent in the Sony camera, but I'm used to touch to focus on the Canon after 3 years of using it. I expect this to be my main issue. Battery life. I'll need to buy more batteries for the Sony camera, as I've done for my Sony RX100 Mark IV. Changing batteries while on a shoot is a frustrating thing, but I think I can handle it. So Philip showed me that the Sony A7Rii Mark II with a bâtisse lens should have the same autofocus performance with my Canon. Now I need to decide if I need the 4K and all the other benefits of the Sony camera. With the A7S and A7Rii Mark III rumored to be announced this year, perhaps I should sit on my hands. But it's so hard now that I know autofocus is on par with my Canon. What would you do?